This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The time is precisely 1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Danushka Madhavala and read by Chandima Veerakorn. Headlines. The President says no room will be allowed for those who are responsible for Easter Sunday attacks to escape the long arm of the law. This year's Alutsahal Mangalya was held this morning in front of Sri Mahabodhya in Anuradhapura under the patronage of the President. It is stressed that the present government has implemented a tough control over imported food items to the country. Sri Lanka Foreign Minister thanks Russia and China for support in Geneva. The Environment Minister says that the present President has converted the Colombo city as the world's first Ramsar wetland city. The government expects to earn $1 billion by exporting Ambul bananas. France enters third national lockdown amid ICU surge. Local stories in detail. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa in his Easter Sunday message said they will leave no room for the culprits as well as groups who are responsible for the attack on 2019 Easter Sunday to escape the long arm of the law. The government is determined to ensure national security to prevent a recurrence of such tragedies in the country. The President's Easter Sunday message added that Christians all over the world spend the 40-day Lent period that begins on Ash Wednesday indulging in religious activities recalling the crucifixion, sacrifice and the death of Jesus. They celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ with full joy and delight on Easter Sunday. The Christian community during this period commemorates the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ to save humanity. The Christian teaching of love and mercy that Jesus Christ taught us provides a strong foundation for the society. Therefore, let us determine that on this Easter Sunday we will unite and stand together to overcome various conflicts and calamities that we have to face in today's world and to live in a society filled with love and harmony. This year's Alutsahal Mangalya was held this morning in front of Sri Mahabodhya in Anuradhapura. The event has been organized for the 54th time in the modern history. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa took part as the chief guest of the ceremony. Commissioner General of Agrarian Development Department P.H. Abhiratna said that rice collected from farmers all over the island has been brought to Anuradhapura to this event. The President poured the first bucket of rice to the bowl. Farmers around the country also took part in this occasion. Former Customs Director General Parakrama Basnayaka says that the present government has implemented a tough control over the imported food items to the country. Several measures have been taken in this regard. One of the main programs is to put 48 sensitive food items under scrutiny of the Sri Lanka Standards Institution. The former Director General said that former government has not done these measures to control the food items with carcinogenic substances in the country. Foreign Minister Dinesh Gunawardena met with the Russian ambassador to Sri Lanka, Yuri Matrei, in Chinese ambassador to Sri Lanka, Ki Zhengong, at the Foreign Ministry last week. On behalf of the government of Sri Lanka, the Foreign Minister expressed his gratitude to the governments of Russia and China for the assistance extended to control the COVID-19 pandemic in Sri Lanka. The minister also conveyed his appreciation over the support for Sri Lanka at the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva. The minister met with the ambassadors of the two countries separately and held discussions at length on Sri Lanka's friendly relations, bilateral cooperation with China and Russia. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The Speed Investment Plan from Sri Lanka Insurance. Give a high five to life.
Continuing with the local stories, Minister Mahinda Amaraveera says that President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, as the then Defence Secretary, has converted Colombo City as the first Ramsar wetland city. Minister said that the then Defence Secretary has taken various measures to protect the wetlands around Colombo City. The minister was speaking at a ceremony held in Tissa Maharamaya yesterday. To end the local news, the headlines again. The President says no room will be allowed for those who are responsible for Easter Sunday attacks to escape the long arm of the law. This year's Alutsahal Mangalya was held this morning in front of Sri Mahabodhi in Anuradhapura under the patronage of the President. It is stressed that the present government has implemented a tough control over imported food items to the country. Sri Lanka Foreign Minister thanks Russia and China for support in Geneva. The Environment Minister says that the President has converted the Colombo City as the world's first Ramsar wetland city. The government expects to earn $1 billion by exporting amber bananas. That ends local news.
Introducing Speed Investment with Sri Lanka Insurance, the only insurance policy that increases your sum assured by 5% every year for the same premium amount. You also get a bonus payment at maturity. What better plan to have when you can invest now and relax later? The Speed Investment Plan from Sri Lanka Insurance. Give a high five to life. Sri Lanka Insurance. Like a father, like a mother.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
On the main news story, the police say 13,320 motorcyclists have been charged in the 3-day island-wide operation carried out to reduce the number of accidents involving motorcycles. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana stated that 450 motorcycles unfit for use on the road have been seized during the operation carried out island-wide during the past 72 hours. Among the charged were 398 drunken motorcyclists, 139 for driving recklessly, 108 speeding motorcyclists, 1,997 motorcyclists without helmets, 1,303 persons for riding without licenses, and 2,806 for violating traffic laws, and 6,186 for various other offences. That ends the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
Moving on to Watch Light, farmers in the Na-Ula area say that they face immense difficulties as they are unable to sell their cucumber harvest. The harvest of around 500 acres in Ambana area have left destroyed without being harvested. They include cucumber and other vegetables. The selling price of cucumber in Dambulla Economic Centre was around 10 rupees per kilogram last week. The price is now further reduced and many farmers are facing huge difficulties at present. That ends Watch Light.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
the best discount in this Aurdu season, People's Leasing Polybasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Aurdu season. Call 011-206-300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Headlines of the world news. France enters third national lockdown amid ICU surge. COVID pandemic peaks in Eastern Europe, ruins Easter. Florida declares state of emergency over toxic wastewater leak. France has entered its third national lockdown as it battles a surge in cases of COVID-19 that threatens to overwhelm the country's hospitals. All schools and non-essential shops will shut for 4 weeks, and a curfew will be in place from 7 to 6. On Friday, the number of seriously ill COVID patients in intensive care units increased by 145, the biggest jump in 5 months. President Emmanuel Macron has promised more hospital beds for COVID patients. France is currently battling a peak of about 5,000 COVID patients in ICUs. On Friday, the country recorded 46,677 new cases and 304 deaths. Eastern Europe largely escaped the worst of the coronavirus pandemic in 2020, but the picture has changed dramatically, with several countries experiencing record infections and deaths. There is now a scramble to vaccinate the population fast, but BBC correspondents across the region explain the rate of infection is proving a major obstacle. A state of emergency has been declared in Florida after a leak from a large pond of toxic wastewater in Tampa Bay. More than 300 homes in the area have been ordered to be evacuated, and a motorway near the Piney Point Reservoir has been closed off. Residents were sent a text alert telling them to leave home immediately. Officials said the 77-acre reservoir holds millions of gallons of water containing phosphorus and nitrogen from an old phosphate plant. The pond where the leak was found is in a stack of phosphogypsum, a radioactive waste product from the manufacture of fertilizer. To end the world news, the headlines again. France enters third national lockdown amid ICU surge. COVID pandemic peaks in Eastern Europe, ruins Easter. Florida declares state of emergency over toxic wastewater leak. That ends world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
The best discount in this Urdu season, People's Leasing Polybasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Urdu season. Call 011-206-300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by CIB Nivea offer valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment during 1st to 10th April. 20% discount for bank card holders. Our place, our product. CIB.
And on development news, the Minister of Agriculture Mahindananda Aludgamage on Saturday observed the amber banana cultivation produced for the export market in Anuradhapura Rajanganaya from Yaya 1 to Yaya 5 in the Anuradhapura district. This organic banana cultivation is carried out in 1,500 acres with the participation of 700 farmers. There is a high demand for amber bananas in the foreign market. At present, the foreign exchange earned from local fruit exports is $80 million. The government aims to increase it to $1 billion. To this end, steps will be taken to increase the foreign exchange earned from the export of the products of this amber banana project. All three major fruits, mango, pineapple and banana, are already being exported to foreign markets. At present, 70% of farmers in the country cultivate amber bananas. Increased sales, disease resistance are the reasons for this trend. That ends the development news.
Development News was brought to you by CIB Nivea offer valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment during 1st to 10th April. 20% discount for bank card holders. Our place, our product. CIB.
And on sports news, it's soccer. Pep Guardiola says he will never forget this season as runaway leaders Manchester City closed in on the Premier League title with victory at third-placed Leicester. Second-half goals by Benjamin Mendy and Gabriel Jesus left City requiring 11 points from 7 matches to seal a third league crown in 4 seasons. I love the Premier League more than any other competition. We are close, very close, added Guardiola after his team moved 17 points clear at the top. Lille returned to the top of Ligue 1 with a crucial victory at title rivals Paris Saint-Germain, who had Neymar sent off in the closing stages. 20-year-old Jonathan David's deflex effort opened the scoring for Lille midway through the first half. PSG's Neymar and Lille's Thiago Jallo was both shown second yellow cards late on after a coming together. Neymar appeared to push Jallo after the ball had gone out of play, with the Lille defender also seeing red. That ends sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Nike has won its lawsuit against Brooklyn art collective MSCHF over their controversial satin shoes that contain a drop of real human blood in the soles. The $1,018 trainers are modified Nike Air Max 97s that feature an inverted cross, a pentagram, and the words Luke 10:18. MSCHF produced the shoes in collaboration with rapper Lil Nas X. It said only 666 pairs were made and all but one have already been shipped. Nike claimed trademark infringement, asking a federal court in New York to stop MSCHF from selling the shoes and prevent them from using its famous swoosh. That ends business news.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic News, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Moving on to economic news. The Colombo Stock Exchange has approved an application by the Ceylon Electricity Board to issue senior unsecured listed redeemable rate debentures at an issue price of 100 rupees, amounting to a potential capital raising of up to 20 billion rupees. The debentures will be issued for 5 years with a fixed coupon interest rate of 9.35% per annum to be paid annually. The issue will open on Thursday, April 8th. The initial issue will consist of 100 million debentures with an option to issue up to a further 100 million debentures at the discretion of the CEB in the event of an oversubscription of the initial issue. This will pave the way for CEB to raise 10 billion rupees in capital initially, with an option of raise of further 10 billion rupees subsequently. That ends economic news.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And finally, on the weather report, mainly fair weather will prevail over most parts of the island. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in central, Sabaragamuwa and western provinces during the morning. On the apparent northward relative motion of the sun, it is going to be directly over the latitudes of Sri Lanka during 5th to 14th of April this year. The nearest areas of Sri Lanka over which the sun is overhead tomorrow are Telwatta, Baddegama, Dadiyavala, Mulatiyana, Angunakola Palassa and Udamalala at about 12:13 noon. That ends the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And to end this bulletin of news, the headlines again. The President says no room will be allowed for those who are responsible for Easter Sunday attacks to escape the long arm of the law. This year's Alutsahal Mangalya was held this morning in front of Sri Mahabodhiya in Anuradhapura under the patronage of the President. It is stressed that the present government has implemented a tough control over imported food items to the country. Sri Lanka Foreign Minister thanks Russia and China for support in Geneva. The Environment Minister says that the present President has converted the Colombo city as the world's first Ramsar wetland city. The government expects to earn $1 billion by exporting Ambul bananas. France enters third national lockdown amid ICU surge. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Over to Heshma Samath.